to this Healthy You and Fresh Feel Good Festival. I hope you're enjoying it, all the offerings that there are over this fantastic weekend. So my name's Fiona. I'm one of the teachers at Fresh and also with Bumps to Babies in Ely. So I'm going to be doing a pregnancy yoga class with you today. So it'll be quite handy if you had something comfortable to sit on, so a cushion or a pillow, maybe a couple of additional pillows and cushions for the relaxation, and maybe a blanket as well. If you don't have any of those things, don't worry, but they might help to make you a little bit more comfortable during this class today. So come take a comfortable seat in whichever way works best for you. So I'm coming cross-legged, but if you prefer to kneel or sit with your legs out, that's absolutely fine. Usually really helpful to sit on something to lift your seat a little, especially if you find that when you're sitting for a while your back tends to round a little bit, so this can really be quite supportive. So come to that comfortable place, just have a nice little lift up through your spine, and then kind of just relax the shoulders down so you just feel that nice lift up, and lots of room for baby as well. So taking one hand now onto your tummy, onto your baby, and then the other hand onto your chest. If it feels okay for you, close your eyes. If it doesn't feel great closing your eyes, absolutely okay. Just focus just on a point in front of you, just lower your gaze there. And just begin to be a little more aware of your breath. So just following the flow in and out. Nice inhales through your nose and nice gentle exhales through your mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Just feel that lovely flow. See if we can just make our breath just a little deeper, maybe with a little more length than normal. But don't force anything, just let the breath flow nice and freely. And as you have that one hand there on your tummy, just really begin to make a little connection with your baby. Take your thoughts to your baby. So if you're at the early stages of pregnancy, then you might not be feeling any movement at the moment. If that's the case, then you can just imagine what that little one is up to. Maybe they're doing a little dance, having a kick of their legs, a lovely big stretch. For those of you a little bit further on in your pregnancies, you might be feeling that your baby might be telling you whether they're awake with a few kicks and stretches, or maybe they're having a little snooze at the moment. So just take this moment to connect in with them. As you breathe in, perhaps imagine taking all that lovely breath all the way down to where your baby is lying. And maybe just feel that little bit of movement under your hand as you breathe in and your baby moves towards your hand. And as you breathe out, baby moves back towards your spine a little. Also being aware of your hand that's on your chest and just feel that gentle rise and fall. And you might notice now as you breathe in that the hands become slightly further apart. And then as you breathe out, maybe they come slightly closer together again. But as I said before, don't force anything. You're just observing that natural movement. Bringing our minds to our breath can be so helpful to help steady the mind, especially if you've been busy up to the point that you're taking this class, doing lots of other things. Just this focus on your breath can just help draw you kind of back to you, back to your baby, focusing on the two of you together. So just let both hands now come down and either into your lap or onto your thighs, and let your head just tilt forward, so you're bringing your chin down towards your chest. Now you can keep your eyes closed for this part, or you can open them now if that feels better. We're just going to take a few head rolls to start to release our neck muscles and our shoulders. So start to just take your chin over towards your left shoulder as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just let the chin roll again across the front of your chest to the center. And as you inhale, take the chin over towards your right shoulder. Exhale through the center again. Inhale over to the left. So we're just letting the weight of the head move side to side and just stretching out a little bit into your neck muscles. You might feel this in your shoulders as well. So obviously an area of the body that we can often hold quite a lot of tension in. If your neck feels quite free today, you might decide you're going to take the head all the way around so you can do a complete rotation. But if it does feel a bit tight, I would just stick with the moving from shoulder to shoulder across the front of the chest. Let's take one more roll in this direction if we're going all the way around, and then just gently change direction. Then take a couple of complete rolls all the way around in the other direction. Just being really careful as you take your head around the back that you just don't over flex the neck. And then come back to center now. Just drop the chin down towards the chest again. And if you haven't already, then just blink your eyes open. And raise your head so that you are looking forward. Let's start to roll the shoulders a little bit. So it's loosening up a little bit more, bringing the shoulders all the way up by the ears and then taking them down. So we can, again, really link the breath and the movement together. So inhaling as you breathe in and exhale as you take the shoulders back. Let's do one more in this direction, then we're going to change directions. So we're going to roll back. So you can take the shoulders back and roll them forwards. So this time, a nice inhale as you feel the opening between the shoulder blades. So if you spend any time kind of working on a computer or looking after other children, we often get really tight in that upper part of the back. So this can be really nice to release. Lovely. Take the arms out to the side and with your palms facing up. As you breathe in, lift outwards and upwards until your fingertips touch. And then hands coming all the way back down again, palms facing the earth. And again, inhale, lifting them all the way up. And exhale, taking them all the way back down again. This time as you inhale, we're going to take the arms above the head and interlace the fingers together lightly, pressing the palms up towards the sky. So we can have a little bend in the elbows. We don't have to push all the way up, just keep it fairly relaxed. And as you inhale, just going to take a little side bend over on the exhale to the left. Inhale, come up through the center and exhale over to the right. Just really gentle. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over to the right. Come up through the center again, and as you exhale, release the fingers. Take the hands all the way down. Take a breath in and lengthen the spine. We're going to do a really gentle twist around. So we're going to twist gently to the left side. So take your right hand over towards your left knee or left thigh, and bring your left hand just behind you. And keeping your back nice and lengthened. Just twist slightly around. So we really just want to be twisting in the upper part of the back. So where your baby is, just remains nice and soft and facing forwards. If you do at any point feel any tension or tightening in your tummy, then come out of the twist, just face forwards and take a couple of breaths there. Relax. So just squeezing into the shoulder blades here. Start to turn the head a little towards the left shoulder, but again, we don't want to put any more pressure in the neck, so just being quite gentle there. As you next exhale, you can rotate towards the front. Take an inhale, feel that draw up and lengthen again. And let's exhale, come around to the right side. So the left hand is coming around, right hand behind you. And again, just focusing on a nice squeeze between the shoulder blades. Exhaling out. A couple more breaths here. You can keep that nice feeling of breathing right down to where your baby is. Keep that connection going through this yoga class, you and your baby working together. As you exhale, come forward again. And then just take a couple of rolls of the shoulders. Lovely. Bring your hands into this prayer mudra in front of your heart. We're going to loosen up the shoulders a little bit more. So we're going to take the hands to the side. And we're going to kind of bring them upwards. So we go side to side, keeping the shoulders really nice and loose. Take them up as high as you can reach. And then as you exhale, come all the way back down again. Like a little, I don't know, little slide, little helter-skelter. So coming up around. So we're going to really keep that looseness going in the shoulders, climbing all the way to the top, and then coming all the way down again. Let's do it one more time. All the way up. And all the way back down again. Fantastic. And as you come down, shake out the wrists and flick out the fingers. It's always a good thing. If anything you kind of need to get rid of today, anything that's, you know, been a bit annoying or frustrating this week, just flick the fingers out. It's great. We're going to take the legs out in front of you now. Give them a good stretch out. Maybe take a few circles around with your feet. So as if you were drawing some little circles with your big toes. and then the other way. So this is good. Obviously, it helps the circulation when you've been sat down for a little while. And also, if you do suffer from any puffiness in your ankles, which sometimes happens particularly later on in pregnancy, this can help with that as well. And then just bend the knees up a little, and we're going to turn over onto the sides to come onto our knees and our hands. Come into like a box position. If you have any sensitivity in your knees, then it can be a good idea to have a blanket which you can then just put your knees on. So that can help soften as well. If you have any problems with your wrists at all, and in pregnancy that can sometimes happen, that you can just feel a little bit of stiffness or pain in your wrists. There's a couple of alternatives. The first one, you could drop down onto your forearms. Secondly, if you make fists with your hands, then you can just come up onto the fists, knuckles with the thumbs facing forward if that feels better for you, or just take a break at any time. Otherwise, you can have the fingers stretched out. I would bring the hands just a little bit forward of the shoulders. Again, that's usually better for your wrists. Then your knees are going to be about a hip's distance apart, or a little bit wider if you need a bit more space. As you come to this position, feel a little bit of a lift up. So feel as if you're giving your baby a lovely big hug and drawing your baby up towards your spine a little, but without changing anything going on in the back. So just feel that little bit of muscle working there. So come into some cat-cow stretches. So inhale, just feel that lovely length through your back. And as you exhale, drop your head down, tuck your tailbone under and arch up through the spine. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine again, thinking of lengthening through the front of your body, and just lift your head and your chest up. Exhale, rounding again. So again, giving your baby a lovely hug up towards your spine. And inhale, lengthening. Such good stretch for the back, this one, and shoulders. Exhale, rounding, so you're looking back to where your baby is. And inhale, lengthening, just looking ahead of you. Let's do 2 more of those. Let's exhale up, really stretch up. Tuck in the tailbone, inhale, lengthening. And last one, let's exhale, tuck right up, round the spine. Inhale, come through the center and come back to that neutral spot. And take your right leg out and tuck the toes under and just press lightly into your heels so that you're feeling a bit of a stretch through the back of your legs. Your hamstrings can sometimes become a little tighter in pregnancy, so it's good to give them a good stretch out. Stretch into the heel, and then just release that stretch slightly. I'm going to keep the foot where it is, the toes tucked, and press into your right hand and feel a little bit of a lift. So you press into the right hand and the left knee, just feel that nice bit of lift. And then you're going to take your left hand out in front of you with the palm face to the inside and lengthen out through there. Now you can stay here, or you're going to lift your right leg up with the toes pointed down to come into line with the rest of your spine. Keep that feeling of moving baby up towards your spine. And so pressing into that right hand and left knee, front of your left leg. Good, take a stretch out there. And then as you exhale gently, bring the hand back in and the knee back in. So you're going to do that on the other side. So take the left leg out, a little stretch into the heel to start with. Good. And then take that right arm forward. Again, feel the pressing into the earth with the hand and the leg. You can tuck the toes on your right foot if you want to as well. And then lifting the left leg up if that's feeling okay for you. Pressing toes or pointing your toes towards the ground. So you're stretching out through your fingertips and your heel. Again, just feeling baby lifting up towards the spine. And exhale, let's come down again. Good stuff. We're going to flow a couple of times on each side. So we're going to inhale, we're going to stretch out, and exhale, we're going to come back in again. Now you can always keep your toes on the floor, so you can just stretch out with the toe to the floor, or you can lift the leg up, whichever feels better for you. Or any variation, keep the arms in, whatever works for you is all good. So let's breathe in and breathe out. So with the first inhale, the left arm and the right leg is going to come forward and stretch out. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring them back down to the ground and swap sides. Inhale your right arm out and your left leg. Exhale, bring them down. Swapping over again, left arm, right leg. Coming down, swapping over, stretching out. Come back down. Let's do one more to either side. Lovely stretch out. Left arm, right leg. And coming to right arm, left leg. Coming back in again. Take a moment, have a little wiggle through the hips, so just take a little rock. It's really important during pregnancy that you kind of release any tension. It's good any time, but particularly in pregnancy, you release a bit of tension here. Good stuff. So then we're then going to come into a lunge. So take your right hand a little bit closer to the left one. Tuck the toes as you bring your seat back a little bit, and then as you come forwards, bring your right leg forwards. Now you might need to give it a little helping hand, bring it forwards on the mat. Keep that back toe tucked as you lift your body up. So you're coming up, your left hip should be over the top of your left knee, and hands coming onto your right thigh. So just taking an inhale here, feel a little bit of length through the tailbone. So you're not trying to tuck it right under, but lengthen a little bit. So you're tucking it slightly, just down towards the earth. I said don't tuck, tuck. But lengthen it a little bit towards the earth. And then just put the hands slightly on your right thigh. And you probably feel a little bit of a stretch through the front of your leg when you do that. Good. You can stay here and just take a couple of breaths here, or if it feels okay for you to, then just let the hips lower a little bit towards the earth as you bend a little bit more into that right knee. And keep pressing into the right heel to keep you nice and stable, and keep the hips nice and level as well. So you might feel that intensify that stretch a little bit, but it stretches out the psoas muscle, which is the muscle that connects the top of our body and the lower half of our body. And it can become quite tight in a lot of us if we're sat a lot of the time or driving cars and things like that. So this can be really nice to give that stretch out. And then come back up again. Bring the hands back down to the earth, and then let's take the right foot all the way back, or right leg. Bring the left hand over a little bit, tuck the toes, come back, and as you inhale, come forwards, taking your left leg forwards. Coming up again, a little tuck and not tuck. So just a little downward face of the tailbone, and then just come forwards a little bit more, if that feels okay to you. So you kind of see where that works okay for you. Pregnancy really isn't a time for really pressing yourself to kind of the edge of your stretch. Because of the hormone relaxin that's going around in your body, it loosens the connective tissues around your joints, which means you can actually become a little bit more flexible in pregnancy, and you might feel that you can stretch a bit more. It's always good to just come back from that kind of maximum stretch, because we don't want to overstretch those ligaments, because after your baby's born and your body's recovering, we want all those things to come back nice and tightly connected tissues again. So gently rocking back. And that can be for quite a while after you've had your babies as well. So if you plan on coming back to doing any movement after your babies are born, it's something just to consider as well. Okay, let's take that leg all the way around. You're going to take the knees a little bit apart. The big toes are going to come together, and take the seat back towards your heels. Really feel a nice stretch through your back. Inhale, lengthen the front of your body, and as you exhale, maybe lower down a little bit more. Depending on how much space you've got, but if you're quite far along in your pregnancy, then you might not have so much space to come down any lower. But if you can come down a bit lower, you could bring your head down. You could make a little resting place with your fists one on top of the other and rest your head there. Or if you need to be up a little higher, then come up onto your forearms, but try and relax the neck a little bit. And breathe into the back of your body, so expanding the back of the rib cage a little. Breathing in, exhaling it out. A couple more here. I'm going to think about coming up to stand. So bringing your hands back there. You're going to take a little inhale to lift the seat. Tuck the toes under and start to walk back. And then rocking into the balls of your feet, slowly unraveling, taking the weight back. And then taking your hands up onto your thighs, press up to lift up, gently lifting all the way up. Taking it really slowly. If any of you have got low blood pressure, then you're going to want to be really careful about coming up really nicely and slowly. So once we come up to stand, I'm going to take the feet about a leg's distance between the feet. Now, if you do have any pelvic pain, then you want to probably take a slightly narrower stance here. But otherwise, about one of your legs lengths between your feet. We'll start with the feet facing parallel, and then we're going to turn out your right toes. So turn out your right foot 90 degrees and turn out your left heel just a little bit as well. Hips are nice and level. And as you inhale, we're going to take a nice breath up and raise the arms up to shoulder height. And as you exhale, we're going to put a little bend in that front knee, the right knee. So just be aware that we don't really want the right knee coming too far forward of the ankle. So here is fine, or backed off a little bit is also fine. Keeping that little tuck under there. So you're going to look forward through that middle finger to start with, of your right hand to look forward. Relax the shoulders down in their sockets. Keep everything nice and soft. You don't have to kind of be really rigid here. Just soften it a little bit. Fantastic. Now as you inhale, you're going to bring the arms up above your head as you straighten out through that right knee, getting your fingertips to touch. And then as you exhale, come back down again and just bring your hands to your baby. And then as you inhale, lift the arms up, straightening through the leg, fingertips touch. Exhale, come back again. Inhale up, so make sure that you don't lock the knee out as you come around. So 2 more, inhale up, nice flowing movements. Exhale, and last one, inhale. This time, exhale back down to that stretched out arm position, lovely. Drop your left hand back down to the back of your left leg now. Just turn your palm over on your right hand and have a little stretch up to come into a reverse warrior. So we're trying to get a little bit of stretch here through the right side of the body and lift. So you don't want to be kind of tweaking too much into the lower spine. So really just think about the lift more than bending backwards. It's just a nice opening here, keeping that front knee bent. You can just look forward anywhere where it feels good to have your gaze. You can look up towards your hand, but if that makes you feel a bit wobbly or anything, then just look forward. And that usually helps to steady yourself. Lovely. As you next exhale, we're going to come through the middle again. So the arms are going to come to that central position. And then you're going to let your front hand, either your front hand is going to come to your thigh, so your right hand, or your right forearm can come down. And then this back arm is going to come around and up. And as it does, it's going to open the chest to the side. If it feels too intense to have the arm stretched out like this, then bring all the arm all the way back and just pop it onto your hip instead. I'll take it from here. As you inhale back up again, you're going to come up through your warrior and back up to that revolve warrior. And as you exhale, you're going to flow forwards and come to this extended side angle pose. We're just going to flow between the two, nice and slowly. So these poses, these warrior poses, standing postures are really good for strengthening the legs, but also good for keeping us strong in the mind as well. Let's do one more this side. This time as you come through center, let's just come to there. Straighten up through your front leg, let the arms drop down and turn your feet to face the front. Have a little bend in the knees and walk the feet together. Just give them a little rest, have a little walk out. Take them about just a bit more than hip distance apart. Nice softness in the knees. Take your hands onto your hips and just do a few hip circles around. Nice and relaxed. As I said when we were doing some of the floor postures a minute ago, it's really good to kind of loosen things up when you've been having a little bit of tension in your body when we're doing those standing postures, and then take it around the other way. Giving your baby a good ride around, a good rock. That's it, and come through center. Fantastic. Step the feet out again to about that legs length apart. Then we'll just change the direction we're going now. So we're going to turn the left toes out about 90 degrees and the right heel slightly out. So the pressure really wants to keep going through the back foot more than it does into the front. So I'm going to take the arms up to your shoulder height again and bend this time into the left knee. So as you inhale, lifting the fingertips up, and as you exhale, bring your hands back to your baby. Inhale up. Exhale down 2. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down 3. Let's do 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down for 4. Inhale up. Exhale down 5. Lovely. Stretch the arms out again. Let's come into that reverse warrior shape. And then flow it forward into your side angle. And let's just flow backwards and forwards, nice and slowly, just with your breath. You can just have your gaze in one place if that feels better for you. Otherwise, you can follow the hands if you want to. You can look up at that top hand and then look up at the left hand. Let's do one more here, and then through the center, let the arms come down, parallel the feet, and bring them back in again. Have a little shake of them. Excellent. We're going to come into a balancing pose, tree pose, a Vrikshasana pose. So have the feet about hip distance apart, press through both feet nice and firmly into the ground, and then feel the balance start to come into your right foot a little bit. So bend your left knee, press down through that right foot. And take the knee a little bit out to the side. Again, if there's any pelvic pain, then keep the knee a little more facing forwards. And you can just bring your heel onto your right ankle, and that might be where you want to stop today. Otherwise, you could slide your foot up to the inside of your right leg, or come up to bring the foot right up to the thigh. Any one of those variations is absolutely fine. And then just bring your hands to your heart. Now, sometimes as babies go through these growth spurts, your centre of gravity will change quite dramatically and your balance can feel a bit strange, a bit off sometimes. If that's the case for you, then just hang on to a wall. So if you've got a wall next to you, just pop your hand on the wall to help you balance. That's what it's there for. Walls are great props in yoga. Give one more breath. And then gently let the knee come forward. So we line the pelvis up again and bring the hands down and the foot down. And we'll go to the other side. So press into the left foot a little bit more, bending the right knee. And again, taking whichever variation you took on the other side. And you might notice, like me, that you're slightly more wobbly on one side than the other, or things feel a bit different, and that's okay. That's perfectly normal. We're not completely symmetrical, so one side always feels a little more flexible, a little more balanced. That's really normal. So we'll take a couple of breaths here, just softening your gaze, soften your shoulders. Breathe. And then let's bring that knee forward as you inhale. Exhale, release the leg and the feet down to the ground. Have a little wriggle out. Fantastic. We're going to come back down to earth again. So take the feet a little bit further apart, make plenty of room. Put your hands on your thighs, and as you start to bend your knees, take the seat back. So we're just keeping a nice stretch out through your back. Now, if you have your hands on your thighs and actually press in, you can feel quite a nice stretch through your back as the seat comes back. Have a good stretch into the back. And then you're going to start to lower the body a little bit. Now, if you suffer from anything like heartburn, indigestion, any of those things, I suggest you stop here where your head is still quite high. So your head is kind of above your heart still. But if you feel okay and you want to have a little bit more of a forward bend, then you can just relax the body down a little bit more and maybe bring the hands to the ground. You could relax your head all the way forwards. Take a little shake of the head, nod it backwards and forwards. You could wiggle your hips a little bit side to side. And then as we come down, you're going to bend the knees until you can get your hands flat to the floor. Then walk them forwards and try to bring both knees down at the same time. That protects your pelvis really well there. So come down, come to sit on the side. And bring the legs around. Excellent. So just taking a moment to sit, we're only going to be here for a moment. But just to reconnect back in with your baby before we come down to have relaxation. So just as we did at the beginning, taking your one hand onto your baby and the other hand onto your heart. Closing your eyes or lowering your gaze. And again, just noticing your breath. So your breath might have speeded up a little bit because we've been moving quite a lot and your heart rate might feel a little quicker. But as you just take a moment, those things will gradually soften. The breath will start to steady, your heart rate will start to steady. So making that connection in with your baby again. Just noticing how you feel. Hopefully you might feel you create a little bit more space, perhaps in your body and perhaps in your mind today. Giving a little bit of freedom of movement, time to just enjoy being you and your baby together. Knowing also that if you've created any of those lovely kind of relaxing hormones that we create when we're feeling happy and moving, oxytocin, endorphins, so good for us that you share those with your baby. So as you feel good and you feel relaxed, then you're sharing those lovely feel-good hormones with your baby as well. Just bow your head down, blink your eyes open. So you're going to come to lie down. So if you are less than about late 20 weeks pregnancy and you like lying on your back, then that's fine. If you're over that, if you're later on in your pregnancy, then it's usually recommended that you come to lie on your side. Usually on your left side is the preferred side. So make sure that you are comfortable And as I said when we were coming down a moment ago, if you do find that lying down just isn't great for you right now, then please feel free to sit up, but maybe sit up, lots of support with nice cushions and things, and maybe lean against a wall for some support. For here, what I've got here is going to have a blanket so that I'd have that under my head. And then I'm going to take this bolster, but a cushion, a couple of pillows would be absolutely fine as well. I'm going to lie down on my side so that my head is supported on the blanket. And then I'm going to bring this bolster in nice and close to me so I can bring my leg up on there. That way, it gives my pelvis support. It means that everything is still in line there. And this is particularly important if you do have any pelvic pain. I'm going to relax my head down. So come down into whatever position works okay for you. You know, adjusting anything that you need to. And if you feel a little cool after you've been moving around, then a blanket on top of you might also be nice too. And you're just going to close your eyes. Take a couple of lovely settling breaths, and maybe breathing in a nice breath through your nose and then exhaling. Release the breath. Release your body. Just feel your whole body relax as you take those few breaths. And then after that, just allow your breathing to come back to its just normal, natural rhythm. So try not to change anything else about it. As you take this time to come to relax with your baby, you can put your hand on your tummy if you like, or wherever it's comfortable. So continue to relax there. As you gently scan through your body, starting at the top of your head, just imagine this lovely golden light glowing above you. It's just full of relaxation and calmness. And just imagine that golden light beginning to move down over your body, relaxing the muscles of your face, those muscles around your eyes, muscles around your jaw. So notice if your jaw feels a little tight or you're clenching your teeth together, and allow that to relax. Let this golden warmth of relaxation flow down your neck and over your shoulders, and feel the shoulders relax a little away from the ears. Feel relaxation into your arms, your hands and your fingers. Feel that golden glow of relaxation move over your body and over your baby, sending all those peaceful, relaxing vibes to your baby as well. Feel the gentle glow of relaxation move over your hips and down your legs, relaxing the muscles of your thighs and your calves, moving down into your feet and into your toes, until your whole body feels relaxed and peaceful. Maybe you can feel the parts of your body that are in direct contact with the ground. And as you breathe out, feel those points of contact soften down into the earth. Every breath bringing you a little more relaxed feeling. Maybe you want to picture that lovely warm golden glow all over you, bringing you peace, bringing you relaxation, allowing any cares or worries to just be put aside for now as you enjoy this precious time with your baby. I'm going to draw this class to a close now, but please feel free, of course, to continue to relax here with your babies. Enjoy in taking this time together. Thank you so much for joining me in this session. Please take the time to thank yourself as well for taking time out of your busy day to do this yoga practice for you and your little one. Namaste, mamas. Thank you so much, and I maybe hope to see you soon, maybe at Fresh Studio. A good weekend. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.